Trump is crashing the stock market by 20% this month, but he's doing it on purpose. And this is why Warren Buffett just said Trump is making the best economic moves he's seen in over 50 years. Now, here's the secret game he's playing, and it could make you rich. So why is he doing this? To push cash into treasuries, which forces the Fed to slash interest rates in May, and those lower rates give the Fed the ability to refinance trillions of debt very inexpensively. It also weakens the dollar and drops mortgage rates. Now, it's a wild chess move, but it's working. Now, you're probably wondering, what about his tariffs? Well, I'll tell you, it's a genius play. It actually forces companies to build here to dodge them. It also forces farmers to sell more of their products here in the US to bring grocery prices way down. We've already seen this with eggs. Now, remember, 94% of all stocks are owned only by 8% of Americans. So Trump, he's taking from the rich short term and handing it to the middle class through lower prices.
So, Tyrone, is this a Robinhood moment from Trump?
It can be. But we've got a lot of economic illiteracy out there. You literally have people who are still getting tax refund checks engaging in these conversations about tariffs. Okay. And by the way, if you're getting a tax refund check, it means you paid the U.S. government too much money. You, in effect, gave them a short-term loan for which they are paying you zero interest. So what you need to do is get with whoever handles your taxes and figure out how to adjust your withholdings. All right. Unless you, because over the course of a lifetime, you keep giving these annual loans out to the U.S. government for no return. It's going to add up to a lot of lost opportunity. Listen, the United States is by far the largest economy in the world. Consumer spending in this country is about $18 trillion. Our second, the runner-up second place is China at 6.5 trillion. Okay, so what Trump is doing with the tariffs is simply opening up America to American manufacturers by giving them more of an incentive to manufacture things here. And not just American manufacturers, okay? You see Honda, you see Toyota, all of these companies saying, hey, we're going to, Volvo even yesterday, saying we're going to locate more manufacturing capacity in America in order to sidestep the tariffs. The rest of these countries, Canada has lost its mind. Let me ask you, anybody, give me the number one selling vehicle out of Canada. The number one selling vehicle.
There is none.
No, there is one. What is it?
A Ford, then.
It's a Chevy Silverado.
Chevy, okay. So
Canada is saying that we're going to play these games with GM and charge more for their vehicles being sold in Canada when we, Canada, don't even have a domestic car market. We're manufacturing Chevys and sending them back into the U.S. What's Chevy going to do? What have they already done? Said we're going to open up more domestic manufacturing, which will take jobs away from Canadians. This tariff thing is a great idea.
Oh, they're going to get crushed, man. Carney is an idiot. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
Right? Like, what did you say, Logic? I will put the fries in the bag.
Just put the fries in the bag.
I'll put the fries in the bag. Listen, at the end of the day, everybody's going to fall in behind Vietnam, which has already said, hey, look,
Israel was first.
Okay.
So go ahead, Gimpy, jump in there.
First of all, Israel was first. And everybody can claim whatever. Every country tariffs America. So I just want to point out one thing. So everybody claims that tariffs created the Great Depression, and that's why it's bad now, right? But no one asks the question, why can everyone tariff us and all their economies seem to chug along just fine with tariffs running their economy? I don't know. That seems to be a unique to America problem. One. Two, Canada and Carney are fighting for their lives, right? Forget about Canada and America. Carney is fighting for his political life against Polvier. This rat-faced conservative, I mean, he's so rat-faced looking, this dude, but he's going to crush him just like Trump did. He's doing exactly mimicking Trump's campaign up there. He's doing the influencers, the whole nine. That's why Trump didn't endorse him, so it doesn't mess up his run. But this dude Carney, who's PM now, who replaced Trudeau, is Trudeau on steroids. Mm-hmm. That's why we have what's going on, because he's going to ride the quad. Again, this is my dark horse, right? Because you brought it up, I'm just pointing it out. This is another step that shows the dark horse is coming true. They can't stop. They replaced the bad guy and put him in with a worse guy to go against the election against the Trump guy in Canada. That's exactly what happened. My buddies in Canada all call it Kamala 2.0 up there because all these liberals up there hate him. So this tariff war, all of it, we're all being taken for a ride because the only people being hurt right now with the collapsing stock market are boomers. That's it. There is no one else who's hurt by a 3% drop in a week in the stock market. Everyone else, their money comes back by the time they retire. Just saying.
If I can say real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if I can say real quick first, you guys can catch Tyrone E. Keys on the Soldiers of Finance channel. That man knows finance, so you guys check out that channel. It's an outstanding and important channel. 1, 2. I also am a believer in if there's blood on the streets, buy. So yeah, the fact if the stock market is crashing, I say it all the time. I'll be buying some Tesla. I will, and just. Quite frankly, the market's going to end up. Trump is incredible. I would not want to fight Trump on this. There was a couple of things he did previously in his first term that my wife and I were sitting and talking about. Like, man, the guy makes so many statements to make you believe something about him, and as everyone's discussing him in the news cycle, he passes something or makes something happen behind the scenes while no one is. The guy is absolutely brilliant. I mean, so it is what it is. I just believe that we are going to be fine. And
we are.
So I'll stop. I'll quit. I promise. We were going to go to DC today. My wife and I were going to go to DC today. And we found out that there was some April 5th thing happening, that everybody around the United States was protesting this. You guys heard about that?
Yeah, the dude who's locked up.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony?
No. It's a
the
Trump
Palestinians,
Trump.
the guy whose visa was revoked. They locked him up to deport him now.
Okay, well, all 50 states, and we're sitting here like for some
in the name of my people and all that jazz.
No, it's just strange things were happening all day today. We couldn't get to DC, and we found out, this garbage is happening. So I'm like, all right. Hey, look, why wasn't this talked about? Why wasn't? You know what? You know why? Quite frankly, because we. What? How was it put? Yeah, they're the losers are usually the ones who are crying about this stuff.
Oh yeah, sure. And look,
really,
if you want a winning strategy, okay. Now I talked to somebody today that said, "Oh, well, poor people can't invest in stocks." I said, "You're a damn lie." All right, you can buy a fractional share for as little as $5. Okay, just forego.
What are you talking about? Everybody got $1,000 back this year.
Forego one of the chicken boxes this week and put it into a stock or an index fund.
Or all those lotto tickets you're going to buy at the bar, put into a stock.
If you want to observe who the winners are going to be, it's going to be domestic manufacturing. So do your due diligence on the Soldiers of Finance channel. We got plenty of material that helps you figure out how to evaluate a stock fundamentally. Do your due diligence and look at some of these American manufacturers, because now they have an incentive to do more in the largest market in the world.
So CT, what say you, man? Was this the ultimate chess move against the ruling wealthy class from Trump?
With the tariffs?
Yeah.
You really want to get my answer, man? You really want to hear my answer on this one?
Yeah.
You live in an efficiency. I'm not sure your answer counts, sir.
His answer might count more. He's probably saving a hell of a lot in living expenses if he's living
It's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. I gave the example yesterday actually, on my channel, real briefly. Just replace tariff with boogeyman. You know.
Oh, Jesus.
You Americans are luxury spenders. You know.
True.
All you really need is water, some fruits and vegetables. When I hear people bitching and complaining about tariffs, oh, Trump got in, and and now we have all these tariffs. Now he's putting tariffs on everything that's gonna cause the products to go up. Yeah, shut up. You don't need that big screen TV. You don't need these $500 million cars you're buying. You don't need like 95% of these things around you. You're just complaining about prices or a price increase in luxury shit. We are the spoiled kids in the mansion. Of course, I'm not talking to you guys on the panel. I'm talking to the people who watch this afterwards in the audience. I hear people crying about the price of bread. I talked about this yesterday. It's going to be an increase in the price. He never fixed the inflation and the price of bread. No, it's just because you want to buy marble rye. But then you go outside and you got a $100,000 vehicle. It's all bullshit. It's all fear mongering. Real quick, I said this yesterday on the show. There's a great movie from the 90s called Truman Show.
Yeah.
And in Truman Show, he was trying to escape the island because he was starting to figure out something wasn't right with his life. And there were pictures of planes being hit by lightning, et cetera, et cetera. Well, believe it or not, the whole tariff talk, in my opinion, is the plane being hit by lightning poster. It could go up 10%, 20%. It doesn't matter. People in America make an exorbitant amount of money. People in America, like you said, they have created this idea in their head of imprisonment where, the poor man can't buy stocks. And Tyrone is correct. You could buy fractional shares. You could do it right on Cash App now. They make it so easy for you. You ain't even got to get a goddamn Fidelity account or TD Ameritrade account. You can get it. But it's really a Robinhood account. It's just really poor patterns of behavior by wealthy Americans, man, to believe it or not. So yeah, that's what
Gimpy, respond, please. And you're muted.
So before he gets started, listen, if you want to avoid tariffs, just buy American.
Correct. Except when you can't. And this is what I'm going to say. There are certain things, because that's what I work in. I work in a financial services infrastructure job, right? Where the way money moves around. So in my job, the units, right, that you swipe your credit cards on will substantially increase in price because of tariffs. And as a result, the cost to merchants to be able to use credit cards, including the fees for processing, no matter how much they cap them, that's you, the consumer. The merchant never gets capped. The merchant will still pay. It's only so much that he's allowed to pass on to you. That's what you guys don't understand. The fees that you pay is the passed along cost. There's still a whole other cost merchants pay to be able to use your credit card or your debit card or your phone or any of that e-commerce nonsense that you think just happens. It doesn't just happen. And about 300 people get paid every time you swipe your card, approximately. That's a good estimate to how many people are between you and your money. That being said, just those terminals are about to go up about 40% in cost. There's a realistic chance that this time next year, a merchant will have to raise their prices just to keep up with what it costs for them to use digital payment methods.
So you're saying go back to cash.
Yeah, I'm saying go back to cash. Right. Yes. Because you're going to encounter things where they're going to create new pricing structures and games that play with your money, things called dual pricing, where they'll have two prices for objects. If you remember old gas stations where they had a cash credit price, they'll start listing separate cash and credit prices. They'll bury in fees and stuff to work around the rules and whatever. I mean, I work in this industry. So
what elements of this are subject to tariffs, right? Because is it the
everything,
manufacturing of the terminals?
The equipment, everything that we use, the products they bring in.
So what products specifically? Like, is it hardware components or software components?
And you see them touching on the screen to punch in your order, that product will cost more. As a result, the software they load on it will cost more. Then
that's an opportunity. You got to look at everything as an opportunity.
I'm not saying there's not, but that doesn't exist. 0%. 0% of that production and logistics exists countryside. It is all built in other countries.
Perfect.
None of it is built in America.
Hold on. I do not look at the world as a collection of pessimistic little items that obstacles.
I'm just making it clear.
Here's the opportunity in that. If he's saying that companies like his are going to raise prices, then figure out a way to get in that supply chain somewhere and eliminate or reduce one of the price points so that you can go into competition with the company that he works for and lower the prices and add more choice and value to the market. That's how this works, okay? Now, we got the majority of a society sitting back and doing nothing but complaining and not changing their financial situation. So if his company is bound and determined to keep their prices high, they don't want to remain competitive, well, then guess what? Find a way around that, reduce one of those processes in cost, and guess what? Take them on.
So you guys, you heard it here first,
Also,
right? So we expect to get a little bit of like seed money, like founder's fee, something like that, because we're hearing now that the production and the manufacturing of payment processing machines needs to come back stateside so we can eliminate the net need for tariffs on these particular products. So
and Gimpy is quiet. Gimpy's quiet because he knows I'm right, and he's thinking about how to put that company together right now. That's what
I'm already doing that with my company. I'm not speaking because I'm not
your company.
My cards, dude. Again, the company I work for. I'm already implementing change. We're already in the process of dealing with the tariff. I
understand you got to work there for another 6 months. I get it, but you know that idea is germinating. You know I just gave it to you, okay?
And he wants that 10%.
All right, so go ahead, CT. Go ahead, CT.
Doing it.
Logic.
It already for a year. We've been building it.
Logic, like most black men, I've dated a lot of. Before I got married, I dated a lot of black chicks. About 10 years ago, man, I dated a chick, super liberal, anti-Trump. This is around the time that Trump. Maybe not 10 years ago, but it maybe 2016, 2015, 2016, when Trump was either running or in office. One day she got drunk and was crying to me. Everything go up with Trump. I can't afford nothing. I got student loans. Even asked me to help her pay for her loans. I said, nigga. So anyway, one day she bought, and Logic, I ain't lying. Now she's one of these smarty art chicks. Mm-hmm. The B Logic bought some $40 tacos. It was 3 of them. She went to a taco spot. I'll never forget it, man. She went to a taco spot and bought 3 tacos for $40.
They couldn't have been real tachos because
these were like real nice taco spot, and
it was gourmet tacos, because
these are
real
gourmet.
tacos.
These are gourmet. These weren't real tacos. These are gourmet. Yeah. And that's when I realized your average American is full of shit. Right. Think about that. She could have bought a stock option, right, Tyrone?
Something.
That's when I got into the option. I said, yo, she could have bought an option. She could have bought one contract for $40. Yeah. Whether it was she probably could have got a nice, maybe expired in a month for $40. And that $40 contract could have been $400 by the time it expired or close to expiration date. That's when I realized, yo, man, the average American is just full of shit. They just want to complain. So, when I hear tariffs, man, I know you guys, y'all, everybody has read a book about tariffs. Oh, Tariffs 101. I just look at it as it's just, look at these Americans, man. They could ride a bike to work. I rode a bike to work a couple of times. People laughed at me. Are you riding a bike, man? You cool? I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm not about to spend all that money on them gas because I know this. If more Americans in this city, just in this city alone, if we rode bikes, we ain't gotta worry about no goddamn oil, the trading and trading with oil and all. We ain't gotta. The people dictate the prices of goods,
absolutely,
and services. So when she bought them $40 tacos, it's cemented in my head. I said, God damn. So the next time she would complain, I would laugh at her. I would say, well, what about them $40 tacos that you bought? You could have used that $40 to buy a nice contract. Even a weekly. Hey, I've bought in weeklies, and the contract will go up 50, 100, 200, 1,000% sometimes, just in a weekly contract.
Absolutely infinite potential both ways. But yeah.
So it's about Americans are not competing, man. And what I'm saying is this whole tariff conversation to me is bullshit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm more like what's my guy with the pizza guy, the guy who does the pizza reviews, Portnoy, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Barstool Sports guy.
Yeah, he lost $7 million. He said, I don't really know too much about tariffs. And truth be told, I don't. I used to pretend. I don't, but I do know this. I don't have to worry about a lot of tariffs because you know what? I live an awesome, simple life. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead, guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, so that's the point. That's the point, man. We have Americans being uneducated, man. And I said that on several podcasts. I was on Bright News podcast a while ago with Shannon Braswell, and I was just explaining to the audience or whatever that things are going to get tougher. Just for the simple fact of this is cleanup, right? Like if you do a big cleanup, like a spring cleaning, or you really start to get things in order, it's going to get a little bit tougher. Like the house is going to get dirty. You're going to be making a mess. You're going to see what's duplicate, what's not. And it is a challenging time, but on the other side of it is where success is.